Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to another video. I hope you have been keeping very well. I am very excited because in today's video I'm sharing with you everything that I eat in a week as a vegan. If you are new to my channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, I am vegan and have been vegan for over 6 years now. I love how vegan food makes me feel, and yeah, hopefully this video can inspire you to introduce more plants into your diet. If you do enjoy today's video and you are not already subscribed, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, that's about it for me. Let's get into the video, and this is everything that I ate in a week as a vegan. Okay, so Monday morning I decided to first of all start with some tempeh. This is just some soy tempeh that I got from the supermarket. I cut it into strips before putting it into a bowl. I'm putting this into a bowl so that I can marinate it with some sauces. So I just used some soy sauce as well as sesame oil and salt, and toss this together before putting it onto a baking tray and roasting it in the oven. Is it roasting or baking? It's one of the two. Anyway, I then got a bagel and I put some avocado on top as well as the tempeh that I made, which was a very delicious start to the day. Then on Monday at lunchtime, I was actually at work. So on my break, I had some leftover curry that I had from the night before, which was just a vegan korma. I mixed it with some yellow rice and topped it with coconut yogurt. On Monday afternoon when I got home from work, I was really feeling a smoothie, so I used some of this nut milk base as well as frozen bananas, ice, some vanilla and hazelnut vegan yogurt, maca powder, cacao powder, and some vanilla protein powder as well as peanut butter. Then I filled this up with water before blending it all together. That nut milk base that I used means that you can just use that and water and it will make like a milky kind of consistency. This was a very thick smoothie, as we can see, and once I got it all poured, I enjoyed it very much so. That night when I got home from my netball game, Cara had actually made some vegan scones, so whilst I was cooking dinner, I decided to enjoy one with some strawberry jam and coconut yogurt on top. These were so delicious. And then the dinner that I decided to prepare was cauliflower based, so I cooked a whole head of cauliflower here. For context, I didn't eat the entire head of cauliflower. I wish I could, but I simply could not fit it in. So I chopped this up, then put some soy sauce, sesame oil, and shallots through, and I tossed that all together until everything was evenly coated before putting it into the oven and roasting away. Once it was all done, my eyes were bigger than my stomach, and I put all of it onto my plate, topped it with some tahini as well as spring onions and some more shallots, and it was really delicious, but way too much food. On Tuesday morning, I was out for breakfast with my friend Beck at one of my favorite local cafes. It's called the Milkman's Daughter. It's a vegetarian cafe. I had the avo toast with some hash browns on the side and a hot chocolate. Then when I got home, whilst I was working, I felt like a little snack, so I had some of this vegan peppercorn brie cheese with some crackers as well as a little bit of vegan dark chocolate. Then when it came to lunchtime, I really wanted something quick, so I had some of that leftover cauliflower from the night before, which I just fried up. And then I also decided I wanted a little bit of protein with it, so then I got some of the soy tempeh, chopped it into cubes, and then fried it with the cauliflower. When it came to serving, I just served this very simply with some white rice and then drizzled some tahini and put some shallots on top. It was really yummy, really filling, and super quick to make as well. On Tuesday night, I got home from netball quite late and I was just feeling potatoes. So I decided to first of all boil some potatoes, then put them into this bowl, shake them around a little bit before adding in some olive oil, some salt, and some pepper. And I basically, oh, and I also put some nutritional yeast apparently. And then I tossed this all together again and put it onto a baking tray to roast in the oven. This makes the potatoes so crispy. I also had some of these smoky cauliflower burgers in the fridge, so I decided to fry up one of those. This is honestly one of the most simple dinners that I have had in a very long time. As you can see, my potatoes are getting so nice and crispy, and so for dinner I literally just had these fried crispy potatoes with a cauliflower burger patty, some barbecue sauce, and a kombucha on the side. On Wednesday morning, I was in the mood for chickpea scramble, one of my favorite high protein vegan breakfasts. So I made the chickpea scramble with chickpeas, soy milk, salt, nutritional yeast, and I mashed this all together before I put it into my frying pan with a little bit of oil, and I fried it up. Whilst that was happening, I got a couple of pieces of toast. I put some smashed avocado on top, which I then was able to top with my chickpea scramble, as well as some hemp seeds, which was a really delicious and filling breakfast. For lunch, I was actually at work at the local restaurant that I work for, and so I just had one of these donburi bowls, which was a cauliflower based one with rice, fresh veggies and herbs, and a really yummy pomegranate mayo, which was super delicious. Then for dinner that night, we had friends coming over, and Cara and I decided to make some vegan spinach and ricotta cannelloni. So we made the mixture with tofu, cashews, a bunch of herbs and spices, and we filled all of the cannelloni tubes up. We also made a homemade tomato sauce to cook them in, which we are very elegantly pouring over here, and then we sprinkled some store-bought vegan cheese on top. This is one of our favorite meals at the moment. We're loving it in the winter here in Australia. Okay, so Thursday morning rolled around so quickly this week. It was one of those weeks that just would not stop. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hadn't had an iced cacao yet this week, which is criminal. I don't know what I was thinking, and so I decided to have an iced cacao, which is just on macadamia milk that I am absolutely loving at the moment. If you're new to my channel, iced cacao is the thing that we do around here, and I hope you love it as much as we all do. I then got a couple of pieces of sourdough, and I put some store-bought vegan pesto, as well as some smashed avocado, some cucumber, some fresh tomato, which I then put some black pepper on top of, as well as some store-bought vegan cheese. I put all this onto a delicious sandwich, which hit different, you know? Anyway, for lunch, I just reheated some of the spinach and ricotta cannelloni that we had made the night before. Like I mentioned, we're loving this so much at the moment, and it is even better the day after. Then when it came to dinner time, my friends and I went to I Like Ramen, and we decided to get, first of all, some cocktails. I am in love with amaretto sours. I cannot get enough of them, so we had amaretto sours to start. Then we also had some vegan bao. I had a cauliflower, whilst Cara had a satay tofu, and then I had this really delicious creamy ramen, which was on an oat milk broth, and it was so divine. Friday morning has come very quickly, and I was in the mood for some banana bread, and I had the time, so I decided to make myself some homemade banana bread with some bananas, brown sugar, applesauce, some olive oil, which I then mixed all together until it was nice and smooth. From there, I then added in self-raising flour as well as almond meal, then some baking powder, and mixed this together. Surely I put a pinch of salt in there somewhere. Surely. Anyway, I mixed this all together, and then I decided I wanted to put some walnuts and some pecans through because I had some in the cupboard. So I chopped these up so that they were nice and fine before putting them into the banana bread mixture, which I mixed very well, then put into a lined baking tin and baked away. All of the ingredients for this will be down in the description box below if you do want to try it out at home. It was super yummy. I completely fluked it, but it was really delicious. As you can see, it is really nice and fresh. I put some vegan butter on and enjoyed a couple of slices of banana bread for breakfast. Oh, I really got the money shot here, didn't I? You know what? Good for me. Okay, for lunch, I first of all started with washing some kale. I love kale. It's one of my favorite vegetables, and I cook with it super frequently. I fried it up with some sun-dried tomatoes, also one of my favorite foods on the planet, before I sliced a couple of pieces of sourdough. Then on the sourdough, I put some avocado. My friends think it's weird that this is how I get avocado out of an avocado, but anyway, then I put my crispy kale as well as my sun-dried tomatoes on the plate as well. And to go with this, I also made myself an iced cacao, once again on macadamia milk, which I am just loving so much at the moment. Super delicious. On Friday night for dinner, we went to a friend's house for dinner and drinks, and we just ended up having a grazing board for dinner with some vegan cheese, fruit, crackers, veggies, and we also had some cocktails as well. It was so nice and such a lovely way to enjoy food with friends. I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of my favorite things about food is sharing it with people that I love. So on Saturday morning, I really couldn't be bothered making anything extravagant, so I toasted a couple of English muffins, and then I also made myself an iced cacao to go with it. Once again, my iced cacao was on macadamia milk, which was really delicious, and on my English muffins, which are piping hot here, as we can see, I just put some Nuttelex, which is a vegan butter here in Australia, and then I also put some Vegemite on top, and this was so freaking good. Okay, moving on to lunch, and I started by first of all roasting some chickpeas just in some store-bought pesto before I chopped up some cos lettuce as well as some cherry tomatoes. This is a really simple lunch. I put my greens and tomatoes into a bowl, followed by the roasted pesto chickpeas, which had been in for about 15 minutes. I drizzled some tahini on top and then some hemp seeds on top of that, and that is how simple my lunch on Saturday was. When it came to dinner time, I decided to test another recipe for cannelloni. I tested this for a video I'm going to do of like vegan dinners, so it will be coming shortly. This was actually a pumpkin, spinach and pea cannelloni. Cara says that the pea should be left out in future, so look, we'll see what happens, but it was really delicious. I loved it so very much. Super hearty and a really great dinner to have on Saturday night in front of the TV with my bestie for the resty. Okay, Sunday morning and pancakes are on the menu. I decided to make some super simple pancakes, which I haven't made pancakes in ages, and these worked out so well, so I'm definitely gonna write the ingredients down in the description box for you. It made 3 big fluffy pancakes, which I then topped with some strawberries as well as this Oatly vegan cream, which I'm loving. I used to eat strawberries and cream together so much before I was vegan, and this cream is like, I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop eating it. So I decided to have it on my pancakes for breakfast on a Sunday morning. Then for lunch, I'm once again doing my potato hack of chopping up some potatoes and then putting those potatoes into boiling water, getting them really nice and soft before removing them from the heat, and then I put them into that bowl and shake them up with oil and spices. So I did garlic and onion, salt, pepper, some Italian herbs, and then put these into the oven to get nice and crispy with a little bit more oil. Today I decided to serve the potatoes in a salad, so I just have some cos lettuce and some kale. Then I also made a homemade cashew mustard creamy sauce, which I massaged through the greens. I then topped it with some of those crispy potatoes, and this is where it gets a bit random. I put some vegan sausage on top as well as some spring onions. Like I said, super random lunch, but hearty, feeling delicious. On Sunday night, we had a friend over for dinner and we made homemade pizzas. So I had pumpkin, vegan cheese, tomato, basil, and vegan sausage on mine. We just roasted these in the oven until they were really nice and crispy. I love homemade pizza night because everyone gets to enjoy something a little bit different and add a little bit of creative flair to their food. And this was a lovely way to end the week. Alrighty, my beautiful friends, that was everything that I ate in a week as a vegan. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and learned something new from